I've got my red robe on, so let's review. I've got my red robe on, so let's review. I've got my red robe on, I'm gonna say who's right or wrong. I've got my red robe on, so let's review. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Red Robe Review. It's me, your boy D. To some, that's Diesel. To some, that's Dwayne. And to the family, that's the D. That's only for the family. Thank you again for coming to view me here on the Red Robe Review, where I basically discuss and talk about pretty much anything that resonates with me. And I have a lot to come back and talk to you guys about. I've been on a bit of a hiatus because of the elections have been going on. I have a new addition to my family. And I've just been focusing on some other personal things that have kind of taken me away. But I'm back, and I'm glad to be back again. And I'm glad to come back and discuss a few things with you all, my friends, here at the Red Robe Review. Again, we discuss pretty much anything, and we have respectful conversations. And I think that, we can talk about pretty much any and everything. So let's do it. Well, coming back, the big thing that I do want to talk about are the results of the 2024 elections. Donald Trump is our new president-elect. He went against Kamala Harris. And I think that in their own way, both candidates did run, the best type of campaign that they were able to run. I don't have a personal thing against either one of them. I do not agree with everything that either one of them did politically. Of course, I was able to make a choice about who I was voting for, and I chose who I thought would be the best candidate as far as helping us to move forward and helping us have a brighter future. However the case, I was not completely attached to the outcome, and I already had said my prayer and did my affirmation that regardless to what the outcome was, I still was going to thrive in 2025 and beyond that. And I hope that all of you all have taken that same type of mindset. There are many things in life that we will all do that we will not get the results that we are necessarily looking for. But that is not the time to give up. That's not the time to give in. That is the time to look within and find God and continue to find the strength to endure and to move forward. As far as the results of the election, I'm going to first start off by saying congratulations to President Trump. You have won the popular vote as well as the electoral vote. So I do hope that, and I pray to God that you do things to elevate this country and you do things to truly help us all, be better people and to be in a better space economically. I hope that you do bring down the cost of groceries as you promised. I hope that you do also, support minority business, in particular Black American business and Black American entrepreneurs. I'm definitely going to be watching you this entire election, and I'm going to make sure that I'm holding your foot to the fire when it comes to some of the positive things that you said that you would be doing, and particularly for Black Americans and in particularly for Black men, because if not for nothing, I'm a Black American and I'm certainly a Black man. So I got my eye on you, Mr. Trump. And again, I'm praying and I'm hoping that you do divine things for this country, despite, the backlash, despite the people that you have disappointed, despite the people that did not want you to win. I hope that you are mature enough and that you are coming from a place of not being biased to the point where you do not take away people's rights. You do not impose your personal thoughts on other people's personal rights. I hope that you are respectful to the LGBTQ community. I hope that you're respectful to women. I hope that you are very, very cautious of not taking their rights away from them. At the end of the day, one of the things that I love about America is that we all have the right to be who we want to be in life. We don't have to agree on everything, but we all have the right to be who we want to be. And I hope, Mr. Trump, that you do make sure that America is a land of the free and the home of the brave for everyone, including people who are completely opposite of you. Giving you some type of grace and some type of kudos. In my opinion, you ran the best type of campaign that you could run. I think that you, if not for nothing, are definitely a good marketer. You had your base. You definitely tapped into that base. And I think that you also did gain, a few people beyond your base as well. Otherwise, you would not have won the popular vote. I'm just hoping that you have a successful presidency where it's equal in freedom and it's equal in the things that you do for all people. I hope that you do not pedestalize one particular group. I hope that you don't minimize another particular group. Again, whether I voted for you or not is not really important, because you are the president-elect. And again, I want you to do a great job for this country. So with that being said, I just hope that you are able to deliver on the things that you say that you were going to do. And I hope that you remember to keep in mind in delivering on the things that you say that you want to do, you do not have the right to take rights away from people. And you have to be respectful to people who you may live opposite of. So that's all I really got for you, Mr. Trump. And I hope that, you and the first family, do what you do and be all that you can be. Moving right along. Kamala Harris. I just want to first say that, in my opinion, for the amount of time that you had, you ran a good campaign for what you could do. I really think one of the main reasons, or the top reason why you did not get the results that you may have wanted to receive, was because of the time restraint that you did have. I think that for a while now, there have been whispers and rumors about the current President Joe not necessarily being 100%. And when the debate came out, that was kind of highlighted. And a lot of people felt deceived. A lot of people felt as if you all had been covering up for him. And I think that broke a lot of the trust that people had. And I'm not blaming you for that, Kamala, because again, I don't know, what power you had and what role you had, but I definitely think that you are very commendable for stepping up to the plate, for, taking on the responsibility, and for doing your best to try to do what you can do in the short amount of time that you did have. I really, really wish you would have had more time so that you could have gone to some of the more rural areas and to places and spaces where people were not as open to you, so that you can really have honest conversations with them and hopefully make an impression on them, so that they could have felt more comfortable voting for you or more comfortable with supporting you. I also, wish that you would have taken a little bit more time to speak particularly to men and to what male needs are and what a lot of men may have needed. I think that had you would have had more time, you would have been able to make a bit more of an impression amongst men, and you would have gotten different results. So I hope that you're not discouraged by this. I do hope that you are listening, and I hope that, you continue to move forward in your fight, and you continue to try to push the glass ceiling and break that glass ceiling and do what you can do with what you're able to do. At the end of the day, if not for nothing, you still are the first female vice president of the United States. That is a major accomplishment within itself. You're a beautiful woman, very educated, smart woman, and I don't want to make this about your physical, but when I say beautiful, I mean, from the inside out. And again, I hope that you continue to fight forward in your future. I hope that you do continue to go into spaces where people may not be as familiar or as comfortable with you. One of the second biggest reasons why I think you didn't win, other than the fact that you did not have enough time, was because of the fact that there was a lot of misinformation about you. And I don't know if you were as vocal about a lot of that misinformation as you could have been to kind of debunk some of it. This whole idea of you being the kind of prosecutor that was overly harsh on black men in particular, or that you were withholding evidence, whatever the Nikki lady accused you of doing in that debate. In my opinion, there was just not enough done to kind of debunk that, and I think that those kind of things could have easily been debunked. And from my understanding, I did see a video circulating about some of the program work that you've done to kind of do a lot of criminal reform, and I think that should have been a little bit more promoted, and that should have been a little bit more aggressively out there from you and your team to kind of make people feel a bit more trustworthy of you, especially as far as black males are concerned, and even with Latino men are concerned. I think maybe had there would have been a little bit more aggressive pushing in that ground, people would have been a bit more open to you. What else? I also think that I don't want to say this without sounding limited, but I also think that you should have specifically had a plan together for what you were going to do for black Americans. I understand that you were capping insulin. I understand that you were giving, down payment assistance and things like that. I get that. But as you also stated, those things were not just directly beneficial to African Americans. Those things were beneficial to everyone. And I honestly think that was part of the disconnect that was felt. And I think it's hard to be a black person in politics, because you can't necessarily specifically, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it's hard to specifically say what you're going to do for black Americans when you're kind of supposed to be the representative for everyone. But when you're using, the fact that you are a black American to gain leverage, you cannot expect the group of black Americans to not want something specifically in return. And I think that, moving forward, when we do have black representatives that are running for things and that are, you shooting for positions of power, you have to have something in place that you're doing for black Americans, and you cannot be afraid of the backlash of that. You cannot be afraid of the disconnect that other minorities or other races may feel as it relates to that, because historically speaking, black people, black Americans have had a history that no other race group in America has had. So if not for nothing, you can do something to kind of right the wrong that was done to American black peoples. Even if it was done to the ancestors of who we are today, the effects are still residual. So I just think that, again, not just you in particularly, but any black person that is running, and you're very, very much so running on behalf of being the first black or just the black, you have to understand, you have to have something in place that you are giving to black Americans. And that does not make you racist. That does not make you pandering. That doesn't make you anything but just a person that is looking out for the group of people that they are representing and not being disproportionate to other people. Doing for blacks doesn't mean that you're not doing for other people as well. It doesn't. Um, but again, the election have been the results. Till next time, Red Robe Review.